Matt was pretty much your typical boy next door, and always fun-loving, always happy. He was into sports, but in his early teenage years, he started to change a little bit, and we suspected that he was using some kind of drugs. I mean, we figured it was probably marijuana. We didn't really know if it was anything else, but I guess as a few years went by, he would sort of just have episodes where he really wasn't himself at all.
Pills for him were accessible. He would either steal whatever he could find here in the house, or, I know that he would go to parties and look in medicine cabinets and steal from other people. But what he was doing for a while is he had attention deficit disorder, and he was getting prescribed, I forget what they were.
Adderall.
Adderall. Mm-hmm. And he would actively trade Adderall with other kids. He didn't care to take Adderall that much, but other kids wanted those, so he would trade them like currency.
Because they abuse them
Percocets,
too.
Yeah,
he's using pain pills. And I remember being relieved, thinking, oh, well, that's something we can deal with. And little did I know that, there's no easy answers for it. And that kind of started us down that road. And Matt did eventually admit to us that he was using heroin, which is such a shock to us because, I grew up, I went to high school in the 60s, and heroin was something that bums in the gutter of New York used. It wasn't anything that a suburban kid would use. We tried everything. He was on methadone, he was on Suboxone, he went to rehab early on, a 30-day rehab, and of course we thought, oh, they'll go to rehab in 30 days, he'll be fine. We knew nothing about relapsing and how common it is. We learned a tremendous amount, and it completely changed our attitude. We knew it wasn't a character flaw. It wasn't no willpower. He could not stop.
One day she went to his apartment and he didn't answer.
Something's wrong. He's not answering the door. His car was there, so I knew he was there. So I ended up breaking the lock on the door. I just kept shoving myself into it and broke the lock on the door, and I found him. He was just sitting on the couch, leaned back kind of, and his eyes were sort of half closed, as if he had just kind of fallen asleep, which I guess is what happened. But I saw the remnants of the heroin there. There were no needles, so I think at that point he was probably just snorting it at that point. So I called 911, and then I called my husband and called Dave, and they were able to come before they took him away, and so we all had a little moment with him. But people always tell me that they were so sorry that I had to be the one to find him, but I always sort of felt lucky because I get to sit with him for a couple of minutes and hold his hand and say goodbye.